What's up, guys? So today I will be doing a review of the 1994 movie Stargate. Now, I watched this movie just about yesterday, and it was pretty good. It wasn't a movie that like, oh yeah, I'm gonna remember this movie for for 20 years. But it was good. I enjoyed it quite well, and I kind of wanted to give my thoughts on the movie. Now, the movie, I think what it did is it took a conspiracy theory, and that conspiracy theory, spoiler warning, this review is going to contain spoilers, obviously. Now, this movie took a conspiracy theory about the pyramids. There are many conspiracies regarding the pyramids, mainly that we did not build them and they were, built by aliens. And this movie did very well to showcase one of those, conspiracy theories that they were built by aliens and how could work. Because it's easy to say they were built by aliens, but not kind of explain it any further. But it's harder to kind of create a whole like fully detailed story and kind of explain everything: why, where, when, how, everything. And this movie did that perfectly. It's just a great kind of it's a piece of art that expresses the I don't know human conspiracy theories. It's a way for us to kind of say, what if that were true? Now, obviously, the movie is, highly unrealistic. Now, not to say sci-fi in general is unrealistic, because there can be like very realistic sci-fi. You can kind of use real-world science. For example, the warp drive in Star Trek is fully theoretically plausible. Even though, what is warp drive? It's literally you have a ship and you go faster than light. How can that work? Star Trek did it. So sci-fi can be realistic. Stargate, it doesn't really, it's not really too realistic, but it's it's fine. By the way, guys, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. Subscribing to the channel, it's totally free, and you can always undo it, and it really helps me out a lot. I know everybody says this, but that's because it's true, literally. So yeah. It's not a sin, especially for 90s sci-fi. Now, the main premise of the movie is that there's this gate. They founded the pyramids, and it leads to a different planet. And to activate this gate, diamonds, you need 7 symbols. So there are 6 symbols to kind of coordinate a specific location space. And how that works basically is that, for example, take this room as space, for example, and let's say that this block of deep slate is a star. Now, how many sides does this cube have? Now, it has 6 sides. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It has 6 sides. So you need 6 correlating points in space to kind of be able to, draw. It's better explained in the movie. The guy draws a big old cube, but it's basically you need 6 points in space. For example, this makes a line, then that makes a line. Oops. Well, I'm explaining 90s sci-fi science in Minecraft. That's just great. But basically, wow. Okay. I'm nearly there, guys. Hold on. I'm trying because I'm in Minecraft. Like literally, let's use this. So basically, you need 6 points. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to pinpoint a single location. So this line, that line, that line. It's perfect. So for example, let's say that is a specific planet, planet X. Now, let's say this is Earth. So you're looking at Earth and you see these, wow, they are not visible. I'm gonna put some torches on them or something, you know, and let's get rid of these torches because, well, bruh. Okay. Uh, this is turning out quite nice for a presentation like this. All right. So this is Earth. This is planet Earth. It sits far, far, far away. I have planet Earth. Now, yeah. So this would be a constellation. So that star, that star, that star, that star, and that star, and that star. And they used these 6 stars to coordinate that exact point. And there are like 6 symbols on the Stargate, which kind of, I forgot, bruh. Which represent each part of the constellation, and this is the 7th symbol is the Earth, and you also need that. And one of my main points is that you don't really need the 7th symbol to activate the Stargate, because because the only way it works is from this point. You don't need to define it, because the constellations, the star alignments look completely different from this point. It looks totally different. So the whole premise of the 6 symbols, it's kind of logical, but in real life, space is not fixed. It's not a Minecraft grid. These stars, they are constantly moving, and from a planet, from this point, obviously they move very little, but over the course of 10,000 years and such, they can move enough. So giving directions in this type of way, it's really inaccurate. It's not exactly scientifically accurate. In a Minecraft world, sure. Not in space, because stars, they orbit and they rotate and they do all kinds of wonky stuff. I'm gonna probably leave this here just in case I ever need to use this. So this planet X, I'd probably get a nice little lapis lazuli block for planet X. Yeah, got a little off track, if you can imagine it, but it's fine. Yeah. So that's kind of way the Stargate works. It's basically just a big ass nether portal, and yeah. Now they need to figure out these symbols on the gate, and they need to like decipher everything. So basically, they get this guy, this nerdy dude, to do it, which is it's fine, but he was a very cliche kind of character. He was a classic nerdy, secret genius with really really horrible social skills. Just a dweeb. And I kind of have a love-hate relationship with those type of characters, because they're great. Because they're fun to watch, at least for me. I can kind of relate to them being very geeky, but when you see them in like almost every movie you watch, you kind of just start getting like, oh really? I guess what this guy's main thing is, oh, being a geek. Oh, I get it. So no, I love them, but it's just kind of cliche to see them in movies. Now, my main beef with this movie is that they portrayed a first contact mission in a very bad light. Imagine you're a 90s kid and you watch this movie, and now you imagine that a first contact mission is 10 armed men, armed, they did not have their guns holstered, they were armed, entering a portal to a different world, making first contact. That is not how first contact should go. You do not go to a African tribe with guns. You go there peaceful. You don't point guns at them, or nuclear bombs. So this they portrayed the first contact mission very badly, and the whole like military guys, they were very I don't know how military guys are in real life because obviously I am not one, but I don't think military guys would go start punching people and start causing fights and being that aggressive. Maybe some would, but I think you would send only the best of the best on such a mission. So basically, they went through the gate, and then the nerdy guy, Daniels, I think he was called. Basically, he says he can't immediately open the gate back up because that's only logical. So basically, the military guys just start ganging up on him. The leader stops them, the mentally unhinged one. Um, but they kind of start. At that point, I was like wondering, are these the people you send on a first contact mission? I get that their mission was to kind of probably a suicide mission, but it's just still kind of humanity's first contact with an alien species. You don't exactly send those type of people. At least send like professional, mentally healthy people, and figure out a way to deploy the bomb without sacrificing an individual, or at least yeah, just find a way to do it without. Yeah, that's basically it. So the whole away team, away, yeah, was very badly created, in my opinion. It sent a wrong message to the people watching. Many people are easily influenced by movies, like me. So they might actually think that those kind of people were actually like suited for first contact, which is it won't. Okay, why is my game lagging? What the hell is happening? Which won't exactly ruin their life, but it's just wrong. Now my next point is that the technology that the alien, or rather Ra, had was very unbalanced, disbalanced. This guy Ra, he had the capability to create a Stargate, and with that Stargate, teleport species thousands of light years through space in the instant, across galaxies. Galaxies. This is not simple star to star transport. No, galaxies. In his big old ship, and possess the body of humans. That is very very advanced technology. I thought I heard something. Being in these caves, it's giving me schizophrenia. But yeah. So very advanced technology, and I was like really wondering, how does an alien with that kind of technology mess up that bad? Like, Jesus Christ, how hard was it to just transport them out of your goddamn spaceship, or flood the spaceship with gas, or turn off the environmental controls, or scan for freaking life forms? You can enslave a whole species and pretend to be God, but you can't deal with a couple of gunmen. It's like, Jesus, like, that's kind of bad writing. The if we were to look purely at the kind of realistic side of this movie, it's obviously very bad. But I still like this movie. Many people, it's got a 7 out of 10 on IMDb, so clearly this is a good movie, because there are movies that are 5 out of 10 on IMDb, and I like them. So clearly this is a good movie, but there are still many problems with it. But those problems are not, necessarily critical to the movie itself, because most people, they come home after work, they sit on their couch, open, I don't know, Netflix, and they turn on a movie. They don't necessarily like really care about how balanced the aliens' technology is. So purely for the plot, you know, it was good. It was a plot device. And speaking of plot, I think the movie heavily relied on luck and just kind of pure what was it called? Plot armor. Because some of the things they did was they just would not work out in real life. I'm not talking about the technology, just simply the whole bomb thing, how they blew up the alien. That was like a 1 in 1 billion chance of happening. Fooling an alien like that, he couldn't even turn off a freaking bomb. And the transporter, like what kind of transporter is that? Like Jesus, like didn't have like any safety mechanisms. It's like goddamn. So yeah, the whole like the alien was very dumb. I think he just had a lot of technology, kind of like probably got dumb. Like humans now are becoming dumber and dumber, or like in Idiocracy, or like in Wall-E. So perhaps, but there, like it wasn't clearly explained in the movie. You didn't get to really realize that the alien became necessarily dumb. Maybe he inherited the human brain and became less less capable. But the humans still beat him, so the human biological cognitive capability is not necessarily the limit. So I don't really get that. So yeah. I really liked that the whole character development. I think the characters developed quite well. At least in the end, they were all friends. Nobody was. It had a happy ending. I like when movies have happy endings. I know sometimes you have happy endings, but somebody still died. And you're like, oh no, sad. This movie had a classic '90s family, good ending. So yeah, that was quite nice. Now, one of my next points is that obviously this movie did not portray Egyptian, the Egyptian past very well. It was obviously scientifically inaccurate. I'm not an expert, but I'm sure like they messed up a lot of scientific facts. Or did not expand on many things. And I mean, they claim that aliens built the pyramids, but it's a freaking movie. Come on. But what I like is that they appreciated kind of Egypt and the whole Egyptian mythology. Kind of even if this movie is not probably it, like Egyptian mythology perspective, I suppose. It still probably got a lot of people interested in Egypt and their history, I suppose. Now, yeah. So in conclusion, I like the movie. I think it was very interesting. The story was well crafted. It did feel at times that like it gets a bit boring, but I did like all of the story elements, and I obviously did not cover many aspects of the movie, like for example those sand people and the planet and the first scenes with the not the archaeology historians and the scientists and everything, but I kind of just pointed out the things that I kind of kept in mind when I watched the movie. And one of the main things I realized is that this movie could have been a Star Trek episode, especially like a Star Trek TNG episode. TNG is the Next Generation. So why is that? In my opinion, because the theme was very Star Trek like. There's this god. It was much like the Star Trek TOS episode. which is goddamn. Sorry, I'm doing this again. The original series episode "Who Mourns for Adonis," which is about this god Apollo, who turns out was an alien and came to Earth 5,000 years ago, and basically messed with our history. Kind of the same premise. So, in my opinion, could have been a Star Trek episode, and that's not a bad thing. In my opinion, that's a very good thing because I love Star Trek, and if something has the capability or even stands up to Star Trek, I'm like, yeah, this is good. So a bit of bias there. I kept, yeah. So overall, I'm gonna give this movie 8.5 out of 10 because I don't agree with the IMDb ratings, which is 7 out of 10, because it's just a little too bad. In my opinion, it had a strong 90s aesthetic. It was enjoyable to watch because not every movie has to be a perfect masterpiece. I can give a good rating to a movie that was just enjoyable because as a person who watches movies like every day, basically, it's very hard to find a movie that I can just simply sit back and enjoy. And this was definitely one of those movies where I could just grab my cup of tea, sit back, watch the movie, and just simply purely enjoy it and think about things. And just for that simple ability to not have to complain about something in a movie every five minutes, it's you know 1 point immediately for that at least. I really liked just the kind of the things it was able to cover. It kind of boldly took on one of the biggest human conspiracy theories, and it executed it quite well and in detail. Obviously it did not try to be realistic, okay, and that's the main part about it. It did not try to be realistic. It tried to be good enough to not be like, okay, this is total unrealistic garbage, um but it did not try also to be like, oh, this could have actually happened, which some movies do. So yeah, in my opinion, 8.5 out of 10. Very good movie. This video obviously contains spoilers, and I did a spoiler warning, so you probably knew all about this. But I kind of just wanted to explain that because sometimes I just wanted to explain it because I'm literally in Minecraft and I could, so I don't care. Yeah. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this review. My final verdict is good movie, 8.5 out of 10. Go watch it if you have not watched it yet. Also, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate when people like my videos and subscribe, because especially as a small channel, I just notice every little thing, every little comment and like. And even sometimes even singular views. I have analytics paralysis sometimes, so I just really greatly appreciate when people subscribe. It's free, and you can always undo it, and it's literally no problem. So if you can, please consider doing that. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and peace out.